Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year. Welcome to another episode of Workaholics. Ha. Okay. I don't know about you all, but even the beginning of this year started, can I just say wonky? Had a little Charlie and the Chocolate Factory deal going on, lots of things happening. And you're thinking to yourself, you're starting a new year. What does that mean? Is it really just another rotation around the sun? Did anything change? Did anything happen? Well, here's the real deal. If you want something to change, you have to change it. Welcome to the WorkHARDAholic Show with your host, the original WorkHARDaholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better. And that sounds so simple, right? And if it were just that easy, then the pounds that I need to lose would have left my body already. But that's not the way that it works. And so for today's show, especially as we talk about being an entrepreneur, being a community leader, having an impact, I want to start the year off right. So whatever you did before this moment, it probably wasn't great. So just erase it. We're going to start from scratch, from here, right now. I commit to you, you commit to me and to your community that you're really going to get the job done this time for 2023. And if you were amazing in 2022, well, look at you. Let's do better. Let's level up. Okay. All right. So on that note, I want to start off by sharing some tips on how to be self-accountable. All right. So if you've watched the show before, I love to talk about quantifiable goals, things that you need to accomplish, and how you can set goals, smart goals, or otherwise, although that would be dumb goals. But outside of that, like really setting up a plan to get things accomplished. So I need you to know up front, I don't believe in resolutions. Like, it's empty promises that we make to ourselves. And I think universally that's what it is. So if I think about the fact that I've been doing some work with like city council and some other individuals, or even with the state, and they love to put out a resolution. But it's kind of like getting a promotion and all you got was a name change. Sometimes it's just kind of fluffy. Today, we therefore resolve that it's Women's Business Center Day. But what does that mean? It means that as the Women's Business Center, we can go, how amazing we are. But we can do that anyway. All right. That's what happens with resolutions. A lot of times they're just fluffy, flaky pieces of air. I want you all to do more than resolve to. I want you to be accountable for and make some action and some changes. All right. So with that in mind, you're going, how do you do that? How's it different than what you've done before? I'm going to give you 5, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tips, ways, things that you can do to really make sure that you set a goal and not forget it. Don't set it and forget it, but set it, do it, and be accountable to it. You ready? Okay, let's go. First things first, when you're thinking about how to be accountable. And the tips that I'm sharing, FYI, this list was created by betterup.com. No affiliation. Just when I see good information, I like to share. And it totally aligned with the things I said in the past. So I'm perfectly willing to share it again. All right. So one of the first things that they shared was start small. There's a saying I've repeated, but I really do hate it. We have some disgusting like sayings. So this is terrible, but factual. It's a joke. Kind of. How do you eat an elephant? I know that's gross, right? Especially in a day when elephants are being killed for their tusks. We're not supposed to get that deep. Don't get that deep. Come back. Surface level only. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's it. Right? So a lot of times you're going, oh, this mountain is so big and oh, this is so, I can't, because you're looking so far ahead that you're missing that all it takes is one step. There's a better quote I could have used, like the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. That would have been better than the elephant. But you get the point. Start small. right? So when we talk about quantifiable goals, it's because people love to talk qualitative, like it makes me feel this way. Well, that's great. But how do you say I was successful? How do you measure that? Do you say because now I feel better? Probably not. When it's quantifiable, you can say, my goal is to save $5 a week. You can look in your bank account and see, is it in the glass jar, your piggy bank? Is there $5 there? You can count it. Otherwise, you can say, oh, I'm going to save money. What's that mean? Does that mean you're going to use coupons? Does that mean that, that instead of spending $5 in your latte, you spend two? Like, how do you quantify that? That's the real question. So when you start small, think about what your goal is. Potentially sit out and list what are the steps to accomplish it. Right? You all have heard me say repeatedly, if you're a fan of the show, that I am doing. I cower in a corner every time I think about it, but I'm doing the Kalapua half marathon in Hawaii this April. Just saying it makes me feel tight in my chest. But why? Because now I'm accountable to every person who has heard me say it to do it. It adds some pressure. I'm not going to lie, but that pressure is what's needed to propel you forward, right? So even as I talk about the half marathon, I've mentioned before how I break that up into smaller chunks. Like each week, I'm going to the gym. Is that enough? No, I actually go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week. I know from what I have researched that your workout is supposed to be 3 days of running, 2 days of alternative. So my 2 days of alternative, I take water aerobics with the seniors at the YMCA. And with my gray hair, I think I blend in quite well. All right. So that's part of my steps. I actually have an app by Nike Run Club, no affiliation, that also helps with my counting of my steps. I have my Fitbit, no affiliation. You people who hear me say no affiliation, you all should reach out to me so that we can be affiliated. I have my Fitbit, which is being charged right now, so it's not on my wrist, which also counts my steps, including while I'm in the water. I'm taking the small steps to get to the big goal, because if I had to go run a half marathon tomorrow, no can do I, it would not happen. But if you figure out what your goal is, figure out the steps to get there, and then attack them one step at a time, one day at a time. Start small. All right. It'll be easier on your brain, your body, your mind, your spirit, and on your list of accomplishing. It'll make it a whole lot easier. Step 2, we're going to set some goals, right? I just finished talking about it. It all ties in, right? You're going to start small, but set quantifiable goals. So back when I used to sing on the praise team at my church, which is a minute ago, I had my it's qualitative, but I could still measure it. My goal that I would have is I wanted to be able to sing for the entire praise and worship service and be able to dance and do whatever else I felt like doing. So if you go to a dry church, this might not mean anything to you. So if you don't get it, then just hold on a minute. I'll get back to you. But for those of you who go to these charismatic churches where you laugh and you sing and you dance and you have a great time, yeah, I go to one of those. And so like when we sing, we're dancing all around and we have dancers, but a lot of times like I like to dance. I want to do their routine, sing the song, not lose my breath, not get pitchy. I want to be able to sing as if I was just standing there, stately, breathing properly with my vibrato, which I don't have, and doing all the things all while, dancing around as if you couldn't tell. So that used to be one of my goals. So even if you're thinking about something, you're like, well, I don't know that I can quantify that. I actually can. I wanted to be able to go at least 30 minutes to be able to sing, dance for 30 minutes straight without losing my voice, having to pant, or any other signs of physical distress, right? That was my goal. That's how I said it, right? And so that was my goal. But the bigger picture was really, I want to be healthy. And for y'all, when you're talking about healthy, it's hard. Sometimes you're like, I don't know how to quantify that. I just gave you an example. You with me? Okay. So right now we're starting this list of 5, count them, 5 ways to help you be more accountable. 5 tips for accountability, and they're from a list I found on BetterUp. So number 1, we gave you start small. Number 2, we gave you set goals. Number 3, we're going to give you a commercial break. Come back for more. 3 more tips to help you be more accountable in 2023. Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA. When you're ready for more than just office space, come join the WBCRVA family.
Hey there, I am Rita Ricks, principal of Rita Ricks LLC. We are spiritual and mental health coaches, showing women and young adults how to remove the barriers preventing them from creating the life they were born to live. Once those barriers are eliminated, they find the peace, purpose, and passion to achieve what they truly want in life. Contact us today at ritaricks.com because this is your time.
Wouldn't it be convenient and safe to communicate with your dentist, pediatrician, medical doctor, or mental health professional anywhere you are without actually traveling to our medical centers?
Well, you can with a televisit at your local Capital Area Health Network. Call us at 780-0840 or go to cahealthnet.org. Find out how a televisit may be your best option. We are the Capital Area Health Network, the heart of the community.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
Imagine Media Lab, a multimedia and podcast rental studio in partnership with the Women's Business Center, RVA, offers audio and video production services. Record that podcast you've always wanted to start. Create marketing and advertisement content such as voiceovers. Become a member and save on podcasting and production packages. All equipment and software is included in your rental. Located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive. ImagineMediaLabs.com. Book your session today.
All right. Welcome back. Ha! All right. Well, one, we want to say thank you to our sponsors who make this show possible. If you, too, would like to be a sponsor of the WorkHARDaholic Show, then just send in your information to admin@WorkHARDaholics.com. Okay. On that note, we have some very exciting news. Don't worry. We still have 3 more tips that we're going to share with you. Just one moment. I'm really excited. This show was produced by the Imagine Media Lab under the massive, wonderful leadership of Christina Clark. And for 2023, actually in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the show will also be adding on CW. That's the TV station. So we'll be coming on weekly on CW. The ink hasn't quite dried on the contract, so we'll probably get more into that next week. But I'm really excited and proud about that. Really excited and really proud. And we've already actually recorded the first episode. So on that note, we want to say a special thank you to the SBA, the Small Business Administration of Virginia, who kindly shared with us Shirley Taliaferro, who was such an amazing resource. We want to thank the SBDC, whose director, Watney Williams, came out and was a part of the show. And last but not least, Vernice Love from the SBSD. So these are like major leaders, major players, and the information they had was amazing. And we had a live audience, and they had a chance to have Q&A, which included questions like, do you have programs for nonprofits? If I'm in a different area, if I'm not in Virginia, if I'm not in Richmond, how exactly can I connect? What other resources or tools are available? They went in about a lot of free resources that are available for entrepreneurs, programming, swam. Anyway, I don't have to get into it. Watch the first show. We will be sure to keep sharing that information. So once again, thank you to Sherelle Taliaferro of the SBA, Rodney Williams of the SBDC, and Vernice Love of the SBSD. If it sounds like alphabet soup, it is. That was what the whole show was about. Understanding the alphabet soup of resources for entrepreneurs. So tune in the moment that I tell you it's going to air. Okay. Wanted to give that shout out to say thank you to them. And we're really excited to be joining the CW family. All right. So we've been sharing 5 tips for accountability. And so we've shared the first 2, which were start small and set goals. And of course, this makes sense as far as the topics because we've just entered a new year. And frankly, I'm tired of seeing you quitters out there. I'm tired of it. There's no reason for it, right? So I think about the fact that at my gym, I actually I'll skip the first 2 weeks in January in my gym because it'll be packed. There'll be people everywhere. You're tripping over people. They have to bring out more equipment. There's always all this stuff. But normally by the 15th of January, you're all gone. And the regular people are there. And they might have added 1 or 2. But for the most part, 99.9% of the people who started have faded out and quit. If that's you, thank you for freeing up my space on the treadmill. If that's not you, kudos to you. If it's you and you don't want it to be you, here are 3 more tips for you. All right. Tip number 3 is to create a schedule. I tell people all the time that if you are, I have these moments of genius, right? So I'm sitting in a consultation session and thoughts, ideas, they pop all the way off. And I'm like, oh, you should do this. And that's why every consultation for me it's unique and different because in the moment, I'm really thinking about, okay, I know the standard stuff, but ideas about you and what you should be doing specifically, they come to me. And so during that time, I tell everyone who has a consultation with me, it is your obligation to remember the brilliance that I shared with you. It is your obligation to either record. Zoom made it easy, but even then you still have to press record. Or if you have your phone, you want to record, because I have had people call me back, especially if they only came in we do 1 free consultation at the Women's Business Center. And then beyond that, they're paid. And I don't always record. I record what I need to do. But for the most part, I'm giving you information about what you need to do. So whose obligation is it to remember that information? Not mine, yours. Right? So in those instances, I tell all my people, you should record what I say. But I had a lady call me back, and I feel like it was 3 months later, not the next day, not the next week, literally 3 months later. And she was going on and on about how much she appreciated her consultation and the information and blah, 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 blah. She's someone I've worked with before. And she's like, do you remember what you said about this? You described my business perfectly. And I was like, you know me well enough to know that the answer is no. Admittedly, while I was talking with her, I came up with something else, but it wasn't what I told her the last time. All right. So when we're talking about when we're talking about creating a schedule, a lot of you go, oh, I'll remember. The lies you tell yourself. Okay. And it's not because you're old. I always give the example of my brain is a plate. And when people are like, well, can you do blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, oh, my plate is full. My plate is full. My plate is full. And I'm sure they're like, we're not talking. Are you hungry? What is the deal? No. What that means is I always visualize and compartmentalize the things that I have to do like a puzzle, but on a plate. All right. If I add your meatball onto my spaghetti, which I really want some right now, by the way, it will more than likely, something will roll off my plate. And it might have been something vital. So until I can gobble up and take care of this meatball or some more of my spaghetti noodles, I don't have room for you and your stuff. And so that's what I mean when I say my plate is full. Do you know when your plate is full? A lot of times especially we're talking about scheduling, if someone reaches out to me and they're like, oh, Shirley, I need a business plan, which I don't really want to write for anybody right now. Or they're like, oh, I need help working on this grant, or I need help creating this marketing plan, or I'm trying to do this piece here. I'm trying to analyze what's going on in my business that I can streamline and do better. There are certain projects that I would love to do, but right now, my plate is full. I don't have room. My plate is full, but I might be really interested. So I can actually look at my schedule to be able to say, oh, I can take you in March. Or, you know what? I'm booked up until I don't have any availability until September. And people look at you like, oh, you're just being facetious. Good word, but no, mean it. Just like I said, I know where my schedule lies. And I even know where I have cushion and where I don't. And I know where I need my sanity and where I can let my sanity go. And so I'm able to say, because I have a schedule, I don't have room for you. My plate is full. Happy New Year. Can you do the same? So it's really important for that number 3 to actually create a schedule. Something else that I talk to my clients about, and you can have it for free. I talk about block scheduling. If you watch the show or you've listened to the show, you've probably heard me talk about it before. So one of the things I always say is that you have to treat your appointments with yourself as if they were an appointment with the president or whomever is of value to you. Right. So if it meant you got to meet with Janet Jackson or Sting, or I don't know who's popular, the Pope or whomever it means something to you, you have to block time with yourself and treat it as just that important. I love a good block schedule. So for me, Sunday afternoons, if you're going, Shirley, would you like to go out to dinner after church? 90% of the time, my answer is no. Because my Sundays, especially at 3:00 in particular, I have some leeway in between. But at 3:00 in particular, you will find me. Actually, you won't find me, but I will be located at the Women's Business Center in my office working. Like I even have an intern that joins me Sundays. Like I'm working Sunday afternoons. And that it's blocked. It's blocked for a couple different things. My social media, updates to the website is what's happening now. Some other marketing things and planning out for the week. Like it's blocked for that. It is sanctified and holy and you can't have it. It is set apart, right? That's what I do with block scheduling. My Thursday evenings, I block some time on my Thursday evenings for technical learning. Sometimes I will do that on my Saturdays in a block, but I know it's one or the other. Right. And so like right now I am learning about AI and some different softwares that utilize that and some shortcuts that I could be utilizing in my software to make my life easier, to help it streamline. And so I work to learn it so that in turn I can then share it with my clients. So they don't have to spend all these weeks doing these things, but I block out that scheduling. Right now, I'm about to add on music time back into my schedule. I just bought a flute. I bought a guitar a little while ago. I still play the violin. And so I have an electric and the other one, acoustic guitar. And so I'm blocking out time for that because music studies have shown that music helps you better with science and math. And so as I'm expanding, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of all the sides of me. But the bottom line is I have a schedule. Do you have a schedule? All right. You want to create that schedule and it makes things easier. So like when I woke up this morning at 2 a.m. and I had this brilliant idea, and I was able to very quickly roll over to my iPad that, yes, was very close by, was in an arm's length from me, type in the idea onto the day of my calendar where I'm dealing with that type of stuff. I'm just saying. All right. So that was number 3. Number 4, I think, is amazing and something you really should do. It's reward yourself. So I often talk to my clients like, how do you reward yourself? Your reward shouldn't send you backwards. So if you are on a diet and you lost 10 pounds, that doesn't mean go splurge at, I don't know, some buffet or have all kinds of desserts from Pearls or Shindigs or wherever you go. It's counterintuitive and it's the opposite of where you want to go. All right. If you're rewarding yourself because you saved a certain amount of money or you've made certain investments, I'm very excited about the investments that I'm making right now, by the way. Then that doesn't mean go spend a lot of money. I have one client, her reward system is she has stars. And so whenever she accomplishes things, she puts a star up. So the thing about the rewards, especially when they are a monument, you can go back and see it. So if you've watched the show before, you've heard me say, plenty. When I first got started, my reward system was DVDs. And that's when DVDs cost a lot of money. Like now, who cares? Right? but one DVD could have costed you $20. So for any accomplishment that was significant, I would buy a DVD. And until the point where I had like a library full of DVDs that I wasn't watching. And so eventually I sold them. And then I had money instead, and it made me feel good. But that was what I used to use. So some of the cases I kept because I would put a note in front of each one to indicate why I bought it. So I don't know what the reward is for you, right? But it's really important that you do reward yourself. So I have a client who goes and gets their nails done every time they do, or they're allowed to spend a certain amount, or they take a trip. I don't know what it is for you, but I think it's really important that you not breeze through your life and you miss it. Like, be okay to reward yourself for what you've accomplished. All right. So once again, we're talking 5 tips for accountability. Number 1, can you tell me? Start small. Number 2, set goals. Number 3, create and stick to a schedule. Number 4, reward yourself. Number 5, have an accountability partner. Right. And so on that note, I'm sure you can imagine why having someone else who's going to say, check you before you wreck you is very important. We actually are creating a new program, or we have created a new program here at the Women's Business Center, 1510 Woodlawn Drive, direct across street from the Kroger at Woodlawn. And so if you're in Richmond, Virginia, right now, we haven't figured out if we're going to do it for anyone outside of the metropolitan Richmond area. It's a physical program. And so what it is, for $25 a month, you can come co-work for 1 day a week, and the day is set. I believe it's Thursdays. Don't hold me on that. You can come co-work 1 day a week. That means you can come physically to the center. You'll receive at least 1 monthly seminar. So for the first month, we're doing vision boards, which is something I normally charge $125 for, and it's just going to be included for the members. And then, of course, you get this community. There's accountability. There's networking. So I think it should be really exciting. And the thing for us is it's a lot cheaper than if you're not ready to come over here and now have office space, or you're not sure about the next steps. You want to get started, but you don't know exactly what to do. It's going to be a beautiful community. And right now we're calling it the Women's Business Center Toolkit, because we're going to give you the tools that you need to be successful. So I'm saying that now. It doesn't start until February. So you have time to register, get all lined up, and we'll be sure to share that. But it all goes in line with having an accountability partner. Right? So once again, those 5 tips for accountability. Say them with me now. 1, start small. 2, set goals. 3, create a schedule. 4, reward yourself. 5, have an accountability partner. So as we get ready to sign out, we're going to hear one more time for our sponsors who make this show possible. But I'm going to tell you now, live better, do better, be better, and in 2023, happy entrepreneuring. Ta-ta!
Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Repeat. Repeat.
Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDaholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDaholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.